jet flying son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. Jet, we Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and find to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow, who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. Listen, and we back. Listen, you already know what it is. I'm live here from Daytona Beach, Florida. Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you straight up. If you watch this on the replay, you're gonna want to watch this to the end because I'm going to break down my whole experience here at Bethune Cookman. Me and Key, we got here Monday. We were here. We got on campus about 2, stayed until 10, watched the basketball game, came back the next day, went from 1 to 7, and then we drove around the stadium and stuff like that today. And in the process, we talked to students. We talked to a lot of students. We got some video footage. We vlogged the whole trip. So there's a lot of material that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks on a few days that you're going to see our adventures here at Bethune Cookman Daytona. But I want to give you a synopsis of what we've experienced here while we've been here at Daytona Beach. All right. So this is what this episode is about. I want to be very clear. This is my assessment from what we've heard from the kids and things like that. So at the end of the day, this is my opinion. All right. I'm just telling you what we heard, you know what I'm saying, directly from students' mouths and then from our own eyes walking around the campus. All right. So there's nothing you can't tell me because I've been on this campus. I've been through the band building. I've been through the business building. I went to the gym. I went to the football stadium. I went to the practice field, went to the band field. I went to Joiner. I went to LCC. I went to FaZe. The mere fact that I know these Bama's names lets you know I was out here in these streets. All right. I went to the quad. All right. I walked Bethune's campus. Okay. I've been here for 3 days. I'm starting to know the names. Okay. So you know I ain't lying. All right. You know I ain't lying. So I just want to make that very clear. Right. But before I get into today's show, first and foremost, I have to thank every single person that donated towards this trip. All right. I got to thank everybody that donated toward this trip. I don't give a damn if you gave $1, $2 like Mr. Sergeant. Yeah, I'm going to call you up, Mr. Sergeant. $2. All right. 5, 10, 25, 50. The biggest donor we had was $500 from my boy Monty. He backed it up with his mouth, said, Scotty, I believe in what you're doing. Go down there, make a difference, make a change. He gave $500. But like I said, we were thankful for every $20, $25, $2, $1, 5, 10. It did not matter. I just thank you guys for believing in me and trusting me to come down here, do what I said I was going to do, not shice your money, you know what I'm saying, and come out here, really be here on campus, walk around, talk to the students and things like that. So I thank you all for trusting me to do that for y'all to come back with this information. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. Because I know what you Bama's came for. You ain't come for all that. You came for like, Scotty, what's really going on out here in these streets? Let me tell you, okay. Let me start off by saying there is a huge, and when I say huge, there is a huge disconnect from alums and current students. Current students don't care who the president is. Current students don't care about the board of trustees. Current students only care about campus life and what would make their life better day to day. There was too many times we talked about the situation with the protests and everything like that, even with the situation with the mold. A lot of kids was like, yo, I don't got a mold problem. That ain't my problem. So they didn't have the same gumption and fervor as kids who had the mold problem. So there's a huge disconnect from because alumni know nothing changes until you get to the top. But the students, all they really care about is a better campus life and a better college experience. And that's facts, okay? I'm going to tell you what, that's facts. They just care about a better campus life for their experience. They don't hate Bethune Cookman. They just want Bethune Cookman to be better. And for what they're paying for, they want a better experience of a campus lifestyle. Every student that I talked about raved about Dr. Mary Blue Bethune and what she stood for and what the school was for and everything like that, and believing in themselves and the kids and they raved about the morals of Dr. Mary Blue Bethune. They love the morals of the school and everything like that, but there's some disconnect on what they really want to see change happen, and then where alumni care about, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to changing of the board and changing of the higher ups, because they know as that goes, everything else goes. But kids 19, 20, 21, 22, they not looking up. They just looking at their day-to-day life. All right. So I'm going to get down to the day-to-day stuff that they had a problem, and I'm gonna give you some of my issues, okay? That I had an issue with everything that's going for, all right? So you already know what it is. Raw and real. Only way we do it here on Off Script. The only absolute way we can do it here on Off Script. The first problem number one that Bethune needs to get fixed, that everybody had a problem with, is security. Safety and security. I cannot stress this enough. We probably talked to over 30 to 40 females that said, Scotty, listen, we don't feel comfortable walking around at night. If something does happen to us, campus security is way too far. We would be snatched, grabbed, raped, whatever. I'm telling you what they said. I'm not exaggerating. They said we would be snatched, grabbed, raped. The campus is too open not to have better security. We were there for 3 days. I can't tell you what security looked like. The only security I saw was inside the basketball game at the Bethune Cookman versus Alabama A&M. That's the only security I saw on campus the whole day. I couldn't tell you if they in the black suit, gray suit, white. I couldn't tell you if they got batons, flashlights, guns. The security is obsolete, okay? You can literally moonwalk in the middle of that campus and do whatever you want, and nobody will stop you. It's that open. They don't even have the blue lights. You see the blue lights that you see in this photo? If you go to any major institution, there is usually blue lights that, they're emergency blue lights. You hit it, they make sirens, you can make phone calls. They don't have one. They don't have one blue light emergency pole on campus. Now, mind you, Bethune campus is very spread out, right? So you got to cross the street. You got to cross another street to get to a dorm. You got to cross the street to get to the quad. You got to cross the street to get to some buildings. It is really spread out. So you would need those blue lights in every major section of the campus. You would need them in the middle of Joyner and a Phase building. You would need them at the quad. You would need them at the freshman Phase building. You would need them where Joyner. You would need them in particular spots all over campus, and they are none. Listen, you would literally have to walk around with a whistle and a smoke gun and like a flare gun to let people know if something is going on with you. I talked to some ladies, and they said they call it Cat Call Alley. It's a space between a dorm building and the quad. It's like a grave site up here on Bethune Cookman, and it's a street that goes right through it. Right? There's a street that goes right through it. And they say there's too many times where girls on Bethune get catcalled, 30, 35-year-olds will stop and say, hey, you trying to smoke? You know what I'm saying? All type of stuff. All type of stuff. Now, let's be real. What these girls are wearing on campus doesn't look very much Christian-like to me, but we'll leave that alone. I'm just telling you right now. It don't look Methodist, Christian, Baptist, Pentecostal. It don't look nothing like it. It don't look nothing like it. So you have those issues. I'll do another safety issue, right? And it's a video that I posted on my channel. You can watch it. The kids say they used to have a shuttle that took them to Walmart, which is maybe about, maybe about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes down the street, maybe 10 or 12 minutes down the street. They had a shuttle van, but the shuttle van didn't even have Bethune Cookman like a sticker on it. So it's pretty much an unidentified white van. It took them to Walmart. It left them at Walmart. Then the kid said about 2 or 3 weeks later, another random guy drove up with an unmarked van, the same white van Bethune Cookman used to use, and was picking up kids. And was literally picking up kids in an unmarked van doing the same stuff. Now, thank God nothing happened, but it's that type of stuff that was going on that, once again, security, safety, it's not there on this campus. All right. It's just not there. They need emergency poles. They need more campus security. Let me tell you, and you think I'm lying. Yesterday, it's funny that it happened. Yesterday, in the span of, the first day we were there, we saw 2 crackheads walk right in front of the Mary McLeod Bethune statue. 2 crackheads chilling, having a whole conversation. Hey, I'm smoking. You smoking? Let's smoke together. Just having a whole conversation, walking in front of the Mary McLeod Bethune statue, right? The Tuesday, the same gate that Ed Reed was talking about. Hey, we got it on video. It's on the vlog. We're gonna post it on the vlog. The same gate that Ed Reed was talking about, a homeless man walked right in the gate. The track team was practicing. The track team was literally practicing on the strip. The homeless man just walking in it. No. And once again, it's not to say that it's bad or whatever, but you just don't know you don't know what these people are capable of. Like Ed Reed said, if somebody snaps, you just don't know. You just don't know. You see what I'm saying? It's little things like that you have to, the safety and security. And there's not even a guard, right? Let's say the track team is practicing, the gate's still messed up. There's not even a security guard just standing there like, hey, you can't come in here. They're practicing. Can you please move along? There's not even that. There's not even a deterrent. Not even a deterrent. You know what I'm saying? It's you got to do better when it's being so open and things like that. So that's my biggest problem with Bethune-Cookman, is that the safety and security has to get better if you want kids to really feel safe. The girls talk about they do nothing. Oh, a girl said they came back from the hurricane? One of the girls said they came back from the hurricane and there was a homeless man in her bed in one of the dorms. One of the girls said they came back from the hurricane and it wasn't her. So it was, I'm gonna just tell you what she said. She heard from another girl. So I'm gonna just give you all that he said. She said a girl told her that when they came back from the hurricane, because they were gone for about 3 or 4 weeks, there was a homeless man inside one of the girls' dorms. All right. So once again, it wasn't the girl we talked to. It was a girl that she heard from another girl. So I want to give you the factors of communication, the levels of communication. So it's nothing that was verified, but I'm just telling you what she heard, told me, and I'm just telling you what. All right. So we'll just take it as that. All right. My second problem with Bethune-Cookman. All right. Food access. Now, I use the example of FAMU's food court because, one, I've been there. I absolutely love it. FAMU, you're killing it. All right. Listen, the food court is like, imagine the most basic food court in your life. Imagine what is it called? Like, what's the little like Liddy's or like the little restaurant that you get the little tray and it slides. You walk, I don't know, some little southern restaurant that Lily's or something like that. All right. It's so basic, right? Pure basic, you know what I'm saying, is what it is. But the other thing that also happens is that they don't have a lot of choices, right? So they got the cafeteria, they got Wild Wings, and they got Starbucks, right? Luby's, thank you. Thank you so much, Val. Luby's, thank you so much. It's Luby's, right? So it's really basic, really, really run down. I'm not gonna say really run down. It's really basic, but you know what I'm saying? It gets the job done. But they got a little Wild Wings place. But from what I've told from students there, that wait could be 2 to 3 hours. And then they close 30 minutes before the actual close time. So you could be waiting for 2 or 3 hours and not even get what you're supposed to get, right? The one thing about FAMU's food court I absolutely tremendously love is you order at the kiosk. You don't go to the individual restaurants. You take your butt to the kiosk. Whatever one you want to order from, you go to the kiosk, you set it up, you dial it in, and they call your name and you walk up and go get it. It's the dopest thing ever. There's no line. You just wait for the kiosk. It's dope. They need that at Bethune, right? They also need something outside of Starbucks. They just need more food access, like more restaurants, more variety in what they have so that they can do better. They can, like, the kids can do better and stuff like that. Listen, anybody that's been to Bethune, if you're at the Quad, There is literally 2 abandoned buildings right to your left-hand side. Big as all day. 2, I think they're about 3 levels. They're about 3 levels of old residence halls that just are full of mold and nobody is using it. You can literally tear that down and build a whole new food court. You can tear that down and add a couple of small little like pizza places or whatever. It's crazy. Literally, you can just tear right beside the quad. It's 2 big ass residence halls. You can either tear them down, make new dorms, or tear them down and do something. There is potential to grow this campus. It is, I'm telling you, it is potential to grow this campus, and they're not doing enough for it. Food access. I mean, we went past the Starbucks line. The Starbucks line was like literally wrapped around the building. It's crazy. We went to the Wings place. We went inside of it. The line was through it. It's ridiculous. Just of the wait times and stuff that they got for the food access. So they need to do better in adding more food access for the kids. All right, next up. Problem number 3 that I saw at Bethune. Listen, this one right here. Every single kid that had to come out of pocket was saying, Scotty, what are we paying for $31,000? What are we paying for? Where is the money going? A lot of the kids wouldn't even have a problem paying the $31K if they saw the campus actually being renovated. Actually being renovated. If they saw new buildings going up. If they saw, yes, $31K per year. Not totality, $31K per year, right? They want to know where their money is going. Scotty, we're not seeing any change. We're not seeing any new maintenance people. We're not seeing security. I'm paying you $31,000 for an education, and I'm not seeing anything in return. No new security, no new buildings. No new renovations, nothing to increase or improve the day-to-day life of the campus student. Because I'm telling you, they just want a better college experience. That's all they want, is a better college experience. And listen, oh my gosh. Let me tell you, man. I'm gonna just skip to it. I'm gonna skip to my point because I have to get this. Listen, Bethune Cookman is New Jack City. Bethune Cookman is New Jack City. And let me explain to you why I'm comparing them to New Jack City, right? It's because they could do, or at least they're Nino Brown, right? They're Nino Brown. And let me explain to you why. Nino Brown, even though he was flooding the city with crack, right? He would still give out turkeys. He would still give out turkeys. So everybody's like, oh my God, Nino is so great. Oh my God, Nino is so good, right? So you still had the people on your side. Bethune Cookman is not handing out turkeys. That's all they gotta do. That's all. Listen, it's not hard. They wouldn't even have half the issues that they have if they would just literally hand out turkeys. If you would just make the student life better. If you would just make the student life better, kids would still put up with the mold. A lot of kids was like, hey man, listen, you will be surprised how many kids were giving Bethune Cookman passes. They said, hey man, no school is perfect, Scotty. Oh, HBCUs, we always got our problems. You know what I'm saying? I love it here. I love the programs. I love the people. I love the people I met. They kept giving pass after pass. They want to stay at Bethune Cookman. They want to enjoy their life. They're robbing these kids blind. They're not doing the basic necessities. And this is how they're doing it. They're doing it with the fear. Do you understand how many people? Listen, I want y'all to think about this. I'm paying you $31,000 and I can't talk about you. I want you to think about that. I literally, listen to me. All 700 you Bamas on this loft. I want you to think of somebody that you would pay $31,000 to, and you could not talk about them. Every kid that I walked up to and I say, hey, you mind if I record you? No. Hold on. What questions you asking? No. I can't. Athletes, band, student government, student activity board. It did not matter. They would talk to me off camera. They would talk to me. Hey, yeah, we'll answer any question you want. Just don't record me. It's the fear that they've placed on the campus. Another thing is the money. They lock you in with this debt, right? You're like, man, $31,000, I might as well just finish. I might as well just continue. They lock you in with the debt, right? And the last thing is they lock you in with the credits. Being that they are a Christian school or Methodist school, right? All their credits don't transfer over. So a lot of kids are like, man, I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm a junior. I want to finish. I don't want to transfer to another school and maybe become a sophomore, maybe a freshman, because my credits don't transfer. So what they do is they get you in, they lock you down with the fear, with the money. They lock you down with the money. Then when you finish your first year, they lock you down with the credits. And then after you've been there for so long, it's just fearful. You're just fearful of anything going wrong because they're a private school and they just do what they want. They absolutely just do whatever they want. Like the kid Austin, who is going on Roland Martin, doing his civic duty of speaking up and protesting, they pulled his stipend. He's on scholarship and they pulled his stipend, right? An alum texted me and told me that another Bethune Cookman alum had to pay his rent because they pulled his stipend. He couldn't pay his rent. Another kid on the football team got suspended. I'm telling you, it is literally New Jack City. They run the administration run that junk like an asylum. They know once you get into Bethune Cookman, they got you. You're not going nowhere. Unless you're just like, man, F it. I don't care if I start over. I don't care what debt I got. I gotta get out of here. But if you don't feel that way, 9 times out of 10, you're stuck. And they know you're stuck. And even if you drop out your first year, they already got $31K up out of you. At least 20. At least 20. So it's a very, if I'm being honest, the way it's structured is a very corrupt system. And the only reason, if I'm being even more truthful with you, the only reason that it's thriving is because of the kids doing whatever necessary to enjoy their college experience. That's it. That's it. It's a bunch of 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds finding a way to make it enjoyable, finding a way to make it fun. That's what it's about. And they do a damn good job of it. And let me tell you, I'm going to keep it a buck. We went to the basketball game. Shh. Hey, Bethune can invite me. Listen, you can say whatever you want about the gym. Them Bambas is lit. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. You can say the gym look like a high school. You can say the gym look like a rec center. I don't give a damn what you want to call it. Them Bambas is lit, okay? We was in that men's game. They was in there turned up. I enjoyed every second of it. Now let me go a little deeper into this basketball, right? They got like a basketball wives section at Bethune Cookman, okay? And you know how if you're an NBA superstar, like you got the wives sitting on the front row, or you got like the really, really, really pretty girls sitting on the front row. Bethune Cookman got like a pretty girl section in like the very court side of the stadium. It's absolutely amazing. I'm talking about some of the baddest girls just sitting courtside like, that's my man, that's my boo. I don't know who they dating, but them girls was bad. I'm just talking about like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Second row, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Third row, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. All right. And they just like, I mean, it's like a mean girl section. Like, if you ain't cute enough, you can't sit with us. It was amazing. I had a good time. I ain't gonna lie. I damn sure enjoyed. I damn sure enjoyed that. It was a great experience. But some other things, let me say I had another problem. All right, so listen. Problem number 4, the dorms. All right. Problem number 4, the dorms. There are some nice dorms at Bethune-Cookman. We went into the Phase Hall. We saw a couple football players' rooms. They're nice. I mean, they nice. I can't fake. I've been inside the towers of FAMU. They nice too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like what it seems like everybody got mowed. That is not true. All right. It's Joyner. It's mostly like the freshman dorms. They said it's Joyner because they're really old. I think they're like 40 or 50 years old. It's Joyner. There's a little bit of LCC, and then it's like another dorm that has it. But the other ones, they're perfectly fine. Like, now they do have other issues. They might have, AC problems, or I think somebody had a leak in their room. One girl, she told us, she had ants, and they were getting in her bed. She got in there. She saw the ants when she first got there. She cleaned it up. She said, I cleaned it up. And a week later, they came back. She cleaned it up again. A week later, they came back. So that she had to move. They were literally getting in her bed. And tell me if she's still going to the school? Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's simply, the kids are looking past a lot of deficiencies because they enjoy the college atmosphere and experience at Bethune-Cookman. But going even deeper on the Bethune-Cookman has to pick what they are. You cannot pick and choose if you're going to be a Christian school or a Methodist or a non-Methodist or non-Christian school, because we talked to somebody off the student activity board, and they said that we went into the cafeteria, right? We was in the cafeteria. They was literally playing Big Booty Hoes, Hope With That. They was playing that in the cafeteria. I'm a savage. Okay. Classy, bougie, right. They playing all that kind of music in the cafeteria. I'm standing in it. There's nothing you can tell me. I'm literally standing in the cafeteria. The music is playing through my ears. I'm hearing it and I'm referring it back to y'all. So miss me with, Ed Reed was playing vulgar music. It's in the cafeteria. Okay? On your campus. It's a lie. Okay? It's there. So another girl told me that for freshman orientation, inside the chapel, mind you, they were playing Kodak Black, Lil Baby, Flo, big, the girl, like, all that in the chapel. Now, there's a verse in the Bible where Jesus walks in and he starts flipping over tables. And he was like, in my father's house? In my father's house? That's what was going on. I talked to an upperclassman. They said freshmen are no longer mandatory to go to chapel. It used to be mandatory for the previous classmen, but no longer is that. Freshmen no longer have to, there are no mandatory chapel. So, and then on the girl for the student activity board, she's like, the school turned down us wanting to watch Love and Basketball because there was a sex scene. And I'm like, what? After all the music I done heard today, my virgin ears got exposed. Okay. I mean, I'm just hearing all type of stuff. So there's no, the school is sending such mixed messages of what they are. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing to me. If you're going to be a Methodist or Christian, whatever you want to call yourself, be that. Be that. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're not, then don't claim that you are. Maybe that might be a principle on what you are founded on, but that's not what you are currently. And that's the mixed messages that Bethune Cookman is sending. So it's a whole lot of stuff going on at Bethune that, like I said, if the administration would just listen to the kids, a lot of stuff would eradicate itself off simple stuff. Having a designated shuttle to take the kids to Walmart. How much could that possibly cost you? Bethune Cookman, a logo of Bethune Cookman on the van, and having constant shuttles back and forth to Walmart for the kids. You don't allow them to, as a freshman, they can't have cars. So the least you can do is that. You know what I'm saying? It's little things like that. Security, it's crazy. But I'm going to give you my overall assessment. And then I'm gonna open these call lines up. Let me open these call lines up. Call lines are open 518-263-8124, 518-264-8124.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
All right. So listen, my overall assessment of Bethune Cookman. Me, personally, I would tell anybody looking to go to Bethune Cookman to do your due diligence. Do not let them hide their deficiencies. Okay. A lot of kids say they weren't allowed to see the dorms on their visit. That's a no-go. That is an absolute no-go. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your due diligence. I talked to a track player. I talked to a walk-on the track team. He said when they were recruiting him out of the COVID season, he never saw the track. He just took a chance and say, hey, so it's stuff like that. And I asked him, I said, if you had the opportunity to do it again, would you? He said, no, I would do my due diligence and I would look around. So, and a lot of kids would said that. They were like, if I could do it all over again, would you come to Bethune Cookman? A lot of them said no. Some of them said yes, they enjoyed it. But a lot of them said no. If I knew what I knew now about the credits not transferring, about the problems they would have in their dorms, they would not go. All right. Now, my overall assessment is there is no way I would ever send my kid to Bethune Cookman. You can call it whatever you want. There is no way that I'm sending my kid to Bethune Cookman when I can go to FAMU and get a whole better college experience. There's no absolute. If I want my kid to go to HBCU, I'm happily take their ass to Tallahassee, drop them off at FAMU at the Snake, drop them right off in front of the Snake, and have a good old time. It would not be at Bethune Cookman. It could not be. Because they don't show that they care about the kids. That is my biggest issue when I see a lot of stuff I could overlook because it's old, it's updated buildings, and I get all that. But the no-go for me is the security. That is the absolute. That is what really that's what really turns me off about the school, is that they have a lack of security when the campus is so open. Like, if they had better security in place, emergency beacons, emergency phones, I would feel a little bit more comfortable and be like, you know what, if you wanted to go here, okay, cool. All right. But the mere fact is that I'm paying $31,000 and you don't even have no security on campus. You barely have food accessible to. Like, you have a cafeteria, but you don't have any options or variety. No. Listen, I can't do it. I just couldn't do it. So my personal opinion is anybody that is looking to go to Bethune Cookman, make sure you do your due diligence on your own. Make sure you ask all the questions, because I'm telling you right now, and somebody might correct me, but a girl at the school, she said Bethune Cookman was giving out book vouchers. They gave $750 for a book voucher. They went in there, the kids running it up, Macs, iPads, all type of weird stuff. Come back later finding out they owe whatever they used. That don't sound like a voucher to me, but teach his own. So it's just stuff like that, man. For me and for my experience walking the campus, talking to the kids, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune had, I believe, a tremendous mantra value for what she built that school on, what it was meant to be. I've talked to alums about the school. It's pretty much the school of second chances, like giving Black Americans and Black men and women a chance to, get it right, get their life together, go to college, I don't like to say make something of yourself because people make themselves, whatever, but, just be college educated and get into the field or whatever you want. So for all that, I'm 100% behind. But in my opinion, that school has really veered off from that because it's no longer about the kids. In my opinion, it's about a money grab. This school is a money grab. That's just how I see it. You can't, because it's not going back to the students. And if the students are asking where their money's going, and they're there every day, don't say, "Oh, Scotty said." No. The students are saying, "I want to know where my money is going to." So if they don't feel that their money is being utilized the right way, who am I? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? Who am I? All right. Going to you, Dre. 0284 coming to you, Dre.
Man, I feel bad for them kids. Security is everything. I remember when I went to A&T and before I chose the HBCU, I stepped foot on all three campuses to see what they was like, and I chose A&T. I remember when A&T used to be able to drive right through it. Locals used to drive their whips, and folks used to race. And I came in A&T in 2003. When basically I got back from Iraq 2010, it was basically closed off. After a certain time, it's one way in, one way out. Mm-hmm. They got a fence. The only time after like 9 o'clock, you can only get in by the A&T 4, which is like by the streets, or like another entrance. Other than that, you can't drive through A&T no more. So security is very much important. Fence, you can't get into our football stadium is gated up and it's on campus. There's no way, like if you want to climb that fence, feel free, but you're not getting into our gates. Security is everything. Like it's sad that anybody and everybody are able to just walk through. That's sad. Like I said, I feel bad for kids because for $31,000, that's the least you can have in safety.
The least, you know what I'm saying? Like 31,000, I can't get a blue light. I can't get a blue light camera.
Man,
nah, bro. Nah,
trust me.
I can't
to let you walk through A&T campus right now, A&T police is gonna stop you and ask for your ID. And you're like, okay, what you doing on here? Because everybody who basically has a car on campus has a parking sticker and it's visible.
Yeah.
So they definitely gonna stop you and they're like, where you going? Now, it wasn't like that in 03 and 04, but it's like that now.
It's all about their progression. It's all about, you can't, hey, just because you started somewhere don't mean it was the right way. All right, appreciate the call though, Dre.
Yeah.
Hey, Smash coming to you, and then Mr. Bugs coming to you. Hey, Smash, you live.
What up, Scott? From hearing what you're saying, bro, I ain't gonna say it's not that bad, bro. I'm glad that you have a lot of transparency. Like for every one thing you say bad, you would say like something good or something decent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad you have that level of balance. You know what I'm saying? Like something like the book voucher. That's how book vouchers work. Like sometimes, I don't know if they explain that to sometimes kids. I know at high school sometimes refund checks is something that all schools be dealing with besides people. Well, a lot of HBCUs deal with it. They'll tell you, okay, boom, your refund check is going to be this. Refund checks drop on this date. If you need a book for a class before this date, you can sign off. This is how much your book voucher is worth, and it's like a credit system. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's how it works, but obviously they didn't explain that to them. The building situation. I wonder about Bethune Cookman being a private institution. Can they have all range to tear them down? Because I know at Southern and a lot of HBCUs in Louisiana, we can't tear down a building without getting like approved from the state. They got to come in and do so many tests and tell like how it has to be torn down for like so many this, that, and the third. But if they're a private school, I'm pretty sure they can just tear them building down. That's really unacceptable to say it's by the quiet. You know what I'm saying? It was one more other thing you said. Oh, credit, bro. That's the problem across the board. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of times you can't transfer from different schools, especially in private schools, because credits don't transfer. So I think that's something that a lot of schools definitely need to look into about credits, because I done had that problem, and I know Southern and LSU made these connections where a lot of our credits in case you want to cross register. Now you said down security, bro. That's the issue to me. You know what I'm saying? When you say it was Cat Alley,
they call it Cat Call Alley.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not acceptable, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know the least they can do is have security around campus for them. Like, it's like the problem that they have is damn, like, bro, why y'all dealing with this? I didn't hear not a problem you said for real that wasn't like fixable with one damn meeting. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all being lazy, and the cash grab thing you said. Yes, it seemed like they just pimping the student, taking their money and not giving a damn about them, and just saying they are a private school. I'm not paying $31,000 to go down with them. Is that before out-of-state fees or after out-of-state fees?
That's a good question. I think it's just $31K regardless. But if that's the state fees, I can only imagine what out-of-state look like. It's probably $35K.
My point exactly. You know what I'm saying? For like no security and stuff they're dealing with, that's the most disappointing part about this. Like nothing that I'm waiting to hear something like that's like real, like, you know what I'm saying? When that gate, that's sad that I'd have had that gate at least fixed before people start coming on my damn campus. The one that area we were talking about, y'all seen the same damn gate. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like y'all have a whole weekend to fix some of the simple things that y'all could be fixing, but y'all do not. It just seems like the administration is simply lazy. This is nothing hard about doing it all. They just simply lazy. And I've joked at this about the basketball game. I haven't been to one HBCU basketball game that wasn't lit. It's been like Texas Southern game, always lit. You know what I'm saying? So I know you had
I think the reason it was lit because like I've been to Valley's gym, and it's so spacious. Like I've been to, I've seen Jackson's, and it's real. Like it kind of reminds me. I've seen Alcorn. Alcorn look like an old chapel. You know what I'm saying, with the wooden bleachers and everything like that. It's the same thing with Bethune Cookman.
We're not gonna say chapel. We're gonna say trap. Seems like trap house.
Yeah,
over there. You see they were playing bounce that booty in there, right?
So with Bethune, it's so close. It kind of gives you that Duke, that Cameron Stadium at Duke. It gives you that feeling because it's so close. And I mean, it was just cranking up in that joint, bro. It was live. I absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. But for me, and when you was talking, Smash, that road, they don't even have, like when you cross the street at night, you could push a button, the lights flash, and it tells you somebody's crossing. They don't even have stuff like that, bro. That's not even a crosswalk.
I ain't about to stunt. They don't even got a broke one, Scotty, because I know for
sure. Like, bro.
We had I know when they put them on campus, they changed them out so many damn times throughout the year because the stupid jackasses be breaking them or like running their cars into them. But that's sad. They don't have none at all, bro. That's the big thing to me. Security for them damn girls, bro. That's wild. That's wild, man.
It's crazy, bro.
I can only imagine stuff. I was an RA on campus, so I know the type of stuff that be happening. But the security, bro, yeah, but that's my time, Scott. I just feel like the Bethune is just lazy. That's just they're lazy. And you say New Jack City and somebody's Neil Brown, and they ain't even passing out turkeys.
They ain't even passing out turkeys, man. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Pass out some turkeys. A lot of stuff would change if you just passed out some turkeys. It was just the kids be like, oh man, oh my God, Lawrence Drake is so great. You know what I'm saying? Just pass out turkeys. Now, first of all, you gonna get all the HBCU love I'm talking about. It's a state college, so don't listen. Daytona. There's no listen. Okay, I'm gonna get to you, Mr. Bugs. Daytona State is like that. Listen, okay? There's no way. The only reason you would go to Bethune-Cookman is to get a black experience. Daytona State is like that, okay? Daytona State is like that. I'm talking about that Jake is nice, okay? Nice. So I'm trying to tell you that Daytona State like that. Shit, man, boy, Daytona State like that. It is literally right up the street. It's like that. But they ain't got them girls though. They ain't got the girls. What Bethune-Cookman needs to do is they need to partner with Daytona State in some way, somehow. They need to partner with Daytona State. I don't know how that works, but they need to do it. Mr. Bugs, coming to you. Then Coach Green, you're next.
What's going on? What's going on with you, Scotty, man? You doing all right, brother? Good to hear from you, brother.
I'm doing well, Mr. Bugs. Talk to me.
Man, thanks for what you're doing, brother. Let's get to the business part of this thing real quickly here, man, because we can talk about all of the problems, which is fine. Your boots on the ground.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of money flowing from the federal government and also from the state government, and also you actually gave a nice little total, $31,000 per student. I don't know how many students go to Bethune-Cookman. I would love to know that number, and I'm gonna find out. My question to you is, man, where the money going, brother? Like, man, what's going on? What's going on with the funds, bro? Because what you're describing does not equate to damn near $70 million flowing to this university. And you just said the Total Beach is lit. It's off the chain. It's not the same thing at Bethune-Cookman, brother. So in your opinion, brother, your expert opinion, please let the folk in the back row know, man, how can the money be spent better? What can it be invested at, man? Holla at your partner.
For me, Mr. B, like the first thing I would do is do a feasibility study on my campus. What can I tear down? What can go? What can I replace it with? I would do a survey or a surveyor or whatever they call it. I would do that to see where I can expand in my current geographical location. What can I tear down and build up in replace of that? Then the second thing will be security. Like, because you can only, you know what I'm saying, if you can't protect it, you know what I'm saying, if kids don't feel safe being on campus, then that doesn't even. So if you want to go security first, then a surveyor, something like that, and then last, I would do a food. It would have to be food, adding more food accessible places already on campus. Maybe building like, so I love Alabama State's student union. It's like 3 levels, and you can get like I think it's two or 3 levels or whatever. But the first level is like the bookstore and some other stuff, and then you got food court and like, so they do it in Japan. You can build up and just keep adding, and just add levels to different things. So maybe put dorms on the 3rd floor, 3rd, 4th, and 5th floor, all dorms. Your 2nd floor could be, maybe like a student lounge or whatever, and then the 1st floor be restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have because you can't go out, but you can always go up. And that's how Japan looks at it. Japan is very much like that. If anybody's ever been to Tokyo, they can't go out because they're landlocked, but they can always go up. So I think that Bethune needs to go up. You are correct. And in Atlanta, that's exactly, because I'm actually developing a subdivision in Atlanta. We're building up because that's what's going on in Atlanta. And I just saw in the comments by my man Rocky Miller, he said there's 3,000 students at Bethune Cookman. Is that right? I believe 3,000 to 4,000. Is that right? Yes, sir. Right? Yes, sir. Okay. So 31. Okay, let's go through this. Let's go through the numbers now. The number 31,000 times 3,000, brother. That is $93 million. So we got $93 million coming in from folk paying $31,000 plus, okay, $68 million. We go deal with whole numbers. We had $161 million in the last 24 months. We ain't got to the state funds yet. Scotty, brother, where is the damn money flowing? Where's I don't want to hear about no more audits by the state, nothing by the federal government. We need to figure out what $161 million went to. I'm getting a cert made just for you with your face on it saying,
Where's the money going? And I'm gonna send it over to you. Where's Roland Martin? Is he doing the town hall? I'll fly down there. I'll pay for some folks to go with me. I'll fly down there to be in the crowd, and I'm gonna ask the trustees, the damn president, who should be fired. Where is the damn money going, bruh? This don't make no damn sense, man. Make it make sense, bruh. Am I off base? Got you boots on the ground, Pippin? Let a player know.
The only thing that's a lot of money. Oh man, you know, not like I mean, even if you took, let's on the low end, let's say you take 1,000 kids off of it because of scholarships, you know, in athletics or whatever like that. So let's just say you take that. But other than that, even if you do 2,000, that's still a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? At 31,000 a year,
bruh,
that's still a lot of money.
Bruh, man, I'm trying to figure out has there been audit? Can you get a meeting with the president? We'd love for you to be able to do the president.
You know what's funny? I saw him, and I was about to ask a question, and Key was like, "No, because you ain't gonna be able to come back." So I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right." So, but I saw him though. He was standing. He wasn't walking around campus like he supposedly does. He was standing by the business building and talking to a white man. But you know, I saw him. I saw him and Reggie Theus. I saw Reggie Theus the day of the game. He was walking by the business building. He was walking back. He was walking down. We was walking up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, I don't. You know, Mr. Butler, that's a good question where the money's going, but they're not managing it right. I can tell you that. I'll just stand on that.
I got you.
Yeah.
And can you also get on the previous head coach? I'm talking about as well as the previous president, because it seems like this has been going on since 2009. So this is not nothing new.
Yeah.
So folk have been at the helm, and this crap show's been going on. So if you could, brother, that'd be great. Love the content, man. I'll let people come on, man. God bless you, brother. Again, let's find out where the damn money going. I'll let your partner, man.
Mr. Best. Says it's less than 2,400 students, and let's just take 400 off of them. So, like I said, 2,000 students at $31,000. So, you know, if you take out 400 students for athletics and scholarships and stuff like that, it's still a good little chunk of change. Coach Green, coming to you. Hey, what's up, Coach Green?
Hey, bro.
What's good?
I got a question before I go to tell you what I'm mad about now. Have that hole in that fence been like that, or did that happen during the hurricane?
I do not know, but I'll tell you this. It doesn't look like it was a hurricane issue because it's literally one square. Because you know, if you knock a fence down, it's okay. Good example. Great example. The hotel next to us, a whole section of their fence is knocked down that they're getting repaired because of the hurricane. Right, literally right next to us. It's kind of weird to me that the frame of the fence is still intact. Just the netting that was right then and there is gone. And the weird thing about it, it's like road. It's not neatly rolled, but it's like kind of wound up. Like somebody just kind of rolled it back and pushed it back. So that's just my little 2 cents right there.
Yeah, they lazy around there, dog, because number one, the president should have been like, hey, y'all need to get that calling maintenance, or the AD need to have been calling maintenance and be like, hey, that fence need to be patched up. I don't need no homeless folks and crackheads walking through the fence while our track team practicing. So that should have been fixed.
Yeah.
All right. Now this is why I'm mad at. Now, after listening to you, all right, you know, Coach Sims came out and talked, right?
Yeah, I saw the HBCU sports article.
Yeah. So he pretty much said, you know, I told you, maybe when we had that conversation, talking about maybe he did have that conversation.
Yeah.
So he basically said he was asking for stuff. And in so many words, he basically said nothing was happening. But he said he take full blame for everything.
Yeah, I read that.
All right.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
So I'm mad because Show said about the security, all right? Even our school smaller than theirs, we had that little blue light pole, with police pole. We got that pole. So there's no reason they shouldn't have at least 3 or 4 on their campus.
Absolutely.
2, they are dead wrong for intimidating them students like they doing. They are dead wrong. And I'm gonna say this: if them former players that came on campus and coach all approve of stuff like this, forget. I ain't gonna. I'm say forget them. Bump them Bammers, because they should be speaking up on stuff like that, because there's intimidation going around that campus now. After hearing what you saying, because that's just dead wrong.
Yeah.
And now that give me more questions. Something with him having meetings with the AD, the so-called interim president. Something happened with the communication with them with Ed Reed to set Ed Reed off. Because as y'all remember, Ed Reed did say he don't trust them because they was doing too much smiling and telling them lies, along with, all these curse words he's putting out there.
Yep.
So something ain't right, bro.
Listen, so but
no
that's the thing.
D1 program. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No D1 program.
No D1 program supposed to be run like that. Football, especially football. How you not have no type of locker room, or at least built some type of locker room? Because I listen to Coach Cole was on show. Well, he was on your Oscar show. He's talking about how they built something with out their own pocket. Coach Cole they used to be at Texas Southern, talking about he built lockers and all that. Why none of that happen?
Yeah, but hey, Coach Green,
why them coaches didn't get together and put anybody?
Hey, appreciate the call, Coach Green. Got a lot of callers on this call line. Let me go. 2519 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey there, Scotty. How you doing? I'm Ty.
How you doing, Ty?
So I'm doing good. I called in because I was sitting here talking to my husband, and back in 2005, this is how long ago this is, I was recruited to go there for track and field. And thank God my mom was able to talk them into, because I'm coming from Texas, for them to fly me out there for a college visit. And when I got there, I was like in amaze, because I visited different campuses. I went to different HBCUs for visit, but I would say by far Bethune was like the worst experience that I had ever experienced. This is back in 2005. First of all, they recruited me for track, and they didn't even have a track.
Yeah,
we had to go practice at the local high school. I was like, wait a minute, what? It just amazed me. I mean, and then half the kids there. I mean, one girl was 2 or 3 girls were pregnant on the team. I know it's a student issue, but still, I mean, and you talked about Daytona, but I was listening to talk about how the city of Daytona is. But the Daytona area in that area was already run down to me. So that kind of gave away how the school was going to look. But, I mean, to hear that these issues are still going on, like I said, I was recruited back in 2005 to try to go there. I told my mom I would not dare go to that school. I mean, I'd like to say, like, no student should have to experience that for college. I mean, the campus looked the way it looked probably now then. And I'm pretty sure it hasn't much changed. I mean, like you say, it might be some food courts or some, dormitory things. But from what I'm hearing, it still looks the same as it was back in 2005. And that's a shame.
And the track, the thing, because I was out there with some of the football players just talking, because they were doing 7-on-7s by themselves. So the track team, when they have to do laps, they have to run on the grass. I don't think if anybody understands how it works. So they got a strip. They got a football practice field. Then they got another field on the outside of that. So when they were doing laps, when the track team was doing laps, they're literally running in the grass along the fence line and then run back on the track and do it all over again. And when they really want to, all the 200-meter runners, 400 and 800-meter runners, she's right. They have to go travel to a high school track outside and do it there. You know what I'm saying? So it's or they go to the stadium track. Now they go to the stadium track, but yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I was just wanting to call in because I'm just hearing the stuff that I'm hearing on TV from the students and stuff, and I'm just thinking like, dang, it was literally like that back when 2000. That's like over 15 some years ago. And I'm like, that's a shame that like you're talking about $30,000 that these kids are paying. I mean, imagine that over a number of years, and the fact that stuff hasn't changed. Like I said, this is not a new issue. This has been an issue for over 15 something years.
And the thing about it, once again, like it just makes you ask, like, what am I paying for? Like $31,000. What am I paying for? Like, if you're going to Claflin, my alma mater, right, the private school, like you see where your money's going. They just built an $80 million entertainment facility on campus with a movie theater, student union, all that. So you're like, man, okay, Claflin, we coming up. But like, you're not seeing that at Bethune. You're not seeing that.
And then it's outside of just sports. Like, you know, let's get out of sports. I mean, what is the school known for educational wise? I mean, that's my thing too. Cause you know, some of these HBCUs, you know, they might not have the best. I went to Howard University, but you know, we had our sports team. I ran track there. You know, we at least had a track there. But my thing was, you know, if something has to be educational, something has to be there to be getting those students to keep coming there. And I'm just wondering, I mean, are there programs like that are like known, you know, like, hey, I'm going to Bethune because I know they're got a great nursing program or something. Like, it has to be something like that. There's no way that I could just send my kids there for even just athletic scholarship, and it doesn't have anything to offer either academic or something. Like, that's a lot of money to get to a school for piss poor operations going on over there.
From what and I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. From what I heard is that they have a great medical program, like a PA and athletic trainer. So I did hear they have a great medical program that really puts you in the forefront of doing what you want to do. So I heard they do have a great medical program. I'm trying to see. All right, so the track team was still winning. That just shows you how bad the MEAC was. Let me see where we're gonna go. I'm gonna go 7458. They're coming to you, Rock. 7458, you live.
How you doing, Captain?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
How you doing? Doing good, my brother. I think it's time for the old ways of the administration to leave and get some of them young students in there to sit on these boards. And, you know, some of the kids who were, you know, previous alumni that, you know, needed things for the campus. Prime example, I went to Tuskegee architecture program. There's a historic preservation to gut these buildings. And here's the thing, Scott, you can do one dorm at a time. You don't have to go in there and just rebuild a whole school overnight. But there is, you know, type of proposals that they could be doing to say, okay, this year we're doing this dorm. This year we're doing the track. There's amount of things that they can do towards that school to make it better, but not even having a full track. How does a high school have a full track that a university don't have? That doesn't make any sense. The last caller saying that this is back in 2005 and y'all still don't have the resources to build a track, Scotty. This stuff like this, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can preserve the HBCU traditions, but also upgrade with the times. These kids are more technology savvy. They're more into, you know, the TikToks, the Instagram technology, the IT base. Use that resources to promote your school, to get the clientele, to expand the school. Like somebody just said, y'all getting $63 million and you telling me y'all can't fix nothing? That's just greedy. That's that old mentality of getting those old board members out the way and get some of these young SGA people, Mrs. or Mr. Bethune Cookman, to sit on these panels so they can really address the needs of the students. But that's all I got to say, Scott. A great job. I love what you're doing, my guy. Keep doing it because we need to hear it, because there are resources. And you got all these black doctors, schools, and people who would love to sit on the board to mentor these kids to get what they need, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This don't make no sense.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate the call. Listen, I might know, you know, listen, my standards are very high, okay? Because I'm from Montgomery County, you know what I'm saying, Maryland. So Claflin fit my standards. I'm going to just be honest. It was a culture shock being around that many black people. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. That's the reason I dipped. I was like, first they had no football team, and then at the time, once again, I'm gonna tell you how oblivious I was to HBCUs. I wanted to play football. I didn't even know South Carolina State had a football team. You know what I'm saying? So that's how oblivious I was. But going to Claflin, they got brick everything. Okay, Claflin got brick everything, and I'm talking about the dorms. They weren't the worst. I mean, they weren't the best. They weren't the worst. They were like college dorms. You know what I'm saying? But now, oh, Claflin doing it. They got like individual rooms, four to a suite. Got a living room area. Got sinks. 2 individual bathrooms with showers. They doing it. If you want to go to, listen, if you don't want mold all in your room, if you want to have food access, come to Claflin. Come to Claflin, all right? Come on, man. Come to Claflin. Stop playing with us. Hey, Rocky, coming to you.
Hey, what's up, Scotty, man? I just want to thank you and Keith for going down there and taking care of business and getting us a real honest look at what's going on, man. That was big. That's big for me in assessing the situation, and I appreciate your balance and your honesty about what you exhibited. But I'll just say this, man. I grew up with an HBCU in my neighborhood. They're no longer in my neighborhood anymore. They moved on to Dallas, a college called Paul Quinn. It was in East Waco, in the heart of East Waco, in my neighborhood, right? And so some of the things that you're saying is absolutely things that I remember. You know what I mean? Having substandard facilities. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Like our accommodations at our high school were better than some of the accommodations that they had at a college. Now this was a really small. This whole college was on one block. You know what I mean? So you're talking about a real small college. So I don't know how big Bethune Cookman is, but this was a real small college. My point in saying is, right, Bethune Cookman sounds like it is the very best that HBCUs have to offer, and it's also the very worst that HBCUs have to offer. Here's what I mean by it's the very best. It affords the opportunity for kids who otherwise would not go to college to have an opportunity to have a college experience and probably change their trajectory in life. So that's the very best thing that HBCUs have to offer, is giving our kids the opportunity to change their lives through education.
Absolutely.
But here's the very worst, right? When we get those kids on campus, we treat them as hostages. You know, we treat them as if they don't deserve to have the very best, like as if they should be glad that they're here on campus, and any way that we treat y'all, anything that y'all get, y'all should accept it and don't ask for nothing else. And that's the very worst that HBCUs have to offer, because at their very best, right, they can provide excellent amenities like at Prairie View and other colleges that I've seen, that they have amenities. They have Chick-fil-A's and their credits transfer, and they have a very high ranked, engineering school or nursing school or whatever. Those are the very best things that HBCUs have to offer, and that every HBCU should strive for that. And I just hate that, man, we get our kids on campus and we don't want to give them the very best. We treat them less than humane. We treat them substandard. Why would we want to do that to our children? Like that's one of the things that bothers me about HBCU culture. And again, I'm an outsider, but my daughter is going to Prairie View now. So Prairie View, this doesn't apply to Prairie View because, but they get them on campus and then they want them to accept anything, like they don't deserve the very best. And this sounds like this sounds like a generational issue. Like this been going on not just 15, 20 years, maybe this been going on 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because these are things that my sister, who graduated from Southern in 1980, her and her late husband were big time givers to the Southern institution. And I asked her, recently, about giving and stuff like that. And even she said, Rocky, I would still like to give. However, we have questions about the administration and what they're doing with the money and how they're using it to. But does the money actually go toward the benefit of the kids. And I said, if that's the case at a what I consider a nice HBCU like Southern, why as a culture do we put up with that with our institutions of higher learning that have largely been put in place to uplift our communities, man? Like I don't get why this is tolerated. Is in other words, what I'm saying amongst the HBCU culture. And then going back to Ed Reed, and even Dion for that matter, when things are spoken on, those people are criticized for outing or criticizing HBCUs. My question to all you HBCU grads and all you HBCU alumni, how long are y'all going to let these things happen before you force administrations and boards to correct the things that are plaguing HBCUs? And that's the, in my opinion, those are the only things in some cases that is keeping HBCUs from literally rising to the very top of sports, academics, or whatever, is the complacency and the mediocrity that is tolerated within the administrations and the organizations. So, Scotty, man, you did a great job, man. Thank you so much, bro, for going down there and making it happen.
No,
and keep up the good work.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, listen, I think everybody, I know people like, Scotty's the only YouTuber. Listen, I couldn't have made this happen without you guys, man. I'm not even going to fake the funk. I didn't even think about coming down here. It was put out by Rocky. Monty backed it up with $500 donation, and then the rest of you guys just flooded our Cash App and got us to our goal of $1,000. And we're here, boots on ground. We fly out tomorrow. We won't be here for the Roland Martin. Listen, these hotels in Daytona are not cheap. Okay, these hotels in Daytona are not cheap. Okay, so we couldn't stay there until Friday because we didn't want to tax the viewers and stuff like that, because we know at the end of the day y'all still got a life to live. We still got to do stuff. So, but we're here till Thursday. We fly out Thursday afternoon. But I appreciate everybody who donated to this cause. I really do. And this is the information I wanted to bring back to you guys and give you the full spectrum of what's going on at Bethune Cookman. And if you just joined in the live, let me say this. All right. Everybody is going to have their assessment about Bethune. But the biggest thing that I'm going to do a recap. The biggest thing is this. One, the alums and the students are in two different places, right? The alums care about the board of trustees and the president. The students only care about their day-to-day life situation and what they can make their campus and college experience better. And going over back of my problems that I saw at Bethune Cookman, on a quick recap, and I'll get back to these callers, is one, safety and security is a huge problem. All right. 2, food access. 3, where's the money going? And 4, dorm issues. Those are the day-to-day issues that are going on at Bethune Cookman. And I want to bring up a picture of, if you haven't been, I'm gonna bring up a picture of the field, right? So now let me show you something really quickly. If you see where the horizontal field is, right? That's the band field. Okay? That's the band field. And if you see where that strip of track is, that's the practice field where the team plays at, right? That's where you're at in the difference. That's the difference in between the two and everything like that. All right, so just want to show you that quick aerial view of the institution. All right, let's get back to these callers. I want to go 9775. 9775 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, brother Scotty. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
I'm a first timer. Just started listening to your show last week. I am a Floridian, and I just want to give a little perspective on the conversation at hand. But I do want to say this. I think it's important, and you have a great platform, but it's important that you have people that actually know about property information on universities within the state of Florida, because a lot of people hear that the school gets all these millions of dollars, but they don't realize of how the school can spend those millions of dollars, right? Because the federal government gives the school money. The federal government says, we give you this, and they may break it up in tiers, right? Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, depending on their fiscal year of when the state actually are able to release their money, to release the funds. the federal government also say, well, we're going to give you X amount of dollars for infrastructure. Well, if they give you money for infrastructure, one of the things that people don't realize is that if you're building anything, a dorm, moving a building, a road, you have to go to the planning process within the university. The university has to apply for a planning or a construction project for the campus, and then the county has to approve that, and then they have to take their time out, bring out architects, the builders, people to draw up the design. The state then go out and apply or put out a bid for that. Someone apply for it, they win the bid, and then they start building the process. What I heard, and I do appreciate everything that Ed Reed did, because now he put a spotlight on everything that's wrong. And I'm glad that people are talking about it. But it would be nice if people that's talking about it can say, this is how I'm going to support them. Because clearly they need the support, right? Which is why Roland Martin's going down there, because he's saying, okay, apparently you guys need help. So we're going to go down there, get enough support to come back and support the university. So I just think it's really important that if you can, maybe your next show, you can have some people that can talk about how to implement, how certain things operate on the university level as far as property wise, because people don't really understand. People ask where this millions of dollars are going. Well, lights, infrastructure, dorms. I think they said that they're putting $3 million towards going towards the new locker room.
That's not
$3
true.
million when you never had it.
That's not
you
true.
got to plan
That's not
that.
true. That's not true.
That don't happen
That's not true.
out of the blue.
That's not
I'm sorry.
true. That's not true. They said that the city was supposed to be paying them $3 million for the locker room. A board member off the Daytona Beach board tweeted and said he doesn't know where that funding's coming from because it never came across his desk to be approved. So that's not true.
Right. But if the city is giving the money, then they haven't received that money yet. So the board member can't speak on money that they haven't received.
Hold on. No, the board member said the funding hasn't been approved because the city owns the city owns the stadium. So why? So how are they going to say there's $3 million going to the stadium, the city stadium, if the board members didn't approve the $3 million in funding?
Well, I'm sorry. Hold on. Back up. I thought they were talking about building a locker room on campus, not at the stadium.
No. They're supposed to be renovating the stadium locker room because that's where the city is not going to give Bethune Cookman money. It's a private institution. They're going to give the money to the city stadium, which they own because it's a city stadium. They're going to use that money to put inside of the city stadium locker room.
It's not like they're working backwards, bro, because the whole point of Ed Reed's issue was that the kids needed stuff on campus so they wouldn't have to travel from point A to point B.
I get
They're
you.
going backwards.
I understand it, but that's what the school is referring to when they say the city wouldn't have came out and said that the board member on the city council wouldn't have said we didn't approve $3 million in funding if it was a private institution doing their own thing because they don't have a say to that. The reason he came out and said that is because you're saying that the city is going to invest $3 million into a stadium that we haven't approved the $3 million in funding. If you get what I'm saying.
I don't. I'm sorry. I think you lost me there.
Okay. But I appreciate the call. Hey, listen, I agree with him. I agree with him to a certain extent. I have reached out to a lot of political advisors on Twitter and seeing if they can come in and explain and break down the CARES Act, explain to break down some of this federal funding that the private institutions are getting. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm just on here like, oh my God, Scotty. No. I have reached out to a lot of political advisors to say, hey, can you come on the channel and break down how federal funding works for a private institution and the earmarks that come with that money, right? Because I know a lot of people saying, where's the money going? Well, that is an example of where's the money going. So that aspect, going back to what he said about the locker room on campus, I want you to understand, like everybody said, the city is not going to build Bethune-Cookman a locker room on campus. That is not happening. Okay? That is not happening. What they are talking about, the $3 million, is simply saying the city is going to invest $3 million into the stadium. Well, I will show you the slide where the board member said, let me make sure I got it right because I want to make sure I got the right one. Nope, that's not it. Let me get to the right slide. Oh, let me see here. Let me see if it's this one. Nope, that's not it. I'm gonna find this slide so you guys, because I don't like to just say stuff without, me. I like to have it backed up with something. But let me see. Darn it. So I gotta find it. But the board member pretty much said that. Here we go. All right, so here we go. This is the board member, right? He says, no, he didn't. He said they putting $3 million at the stadium, they meaning the city, which owns it. But I'm on the board. I don't remember approving this. That's what the board member said. His name is Malcolm Williams. This is his resume. Malcolm Williams serving on Daytona Beach. So once again, I say to that gentleman who called in, it was not to be on the field at Bethune-Cookman. It was to be at the stadium for the stadium that they own. Because that does not make sense for the city to put $3 million into a private institution. That's just not what it does. Okay, so that's the information for you right there. All right. Let me see. 7537 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
Question. Do you remember KISS when you was in the service?
Keep it simple, stupid. Come on now. Come on now.
All right. We followed numbers. We listened to the coach or future employee that we owe apology to. We listened to the students. We listened to the AD. We listened to the interim president. Some of the money is going to purchase future properties around that campus. No one looked at that. That's one. Number two, no one is listening to the kids, just like you said, New Jack City. So if 2,400 students walk away from BC, do we blame Ed Reed for that?
Ugh.
The experience of college. Now you're talking to someone who is now a disabled veteran from my military service. I didn't have a chance, but I always go back for the entertainment of HBCUs. Yes, take emotion out of it. Numbers and people are neglecting their jobs. No one talked about any employee ever missing a check. This right now is wearing two hats so he can get over 100,000 from that school.
He makes over 500. He makes over 500K.
Huh?
He makes over 500K.
Okay, $500,000, and you can't handle your job. But no one's talking about firing him. No one is, other than you and Roland, bringing up about the judge who wanted to be the president of the school. From the time he was trying to be the president of that school has been going down, down, down. You had an equipment manager, young man on here. He said it's been going down for at least 10 years. Fox News You said their channel one time, several times, but I'm sorry, it's skipping my mind right now.
Okay, it's all
Has
right.
reported they have taken 1.5 million away from the football program. You telling me that no one talked about this? Yes, take Sims out of it. I'm gonna tell you why. This has happened on Reggie Watch. Reggie, you just quoted, Reggie is getting half a meal. Well, if Reggie took 1.5 away from the man, and that man has an NDA, best and believe if they're getting the students to sign NDAs, that coach has an NDA. It's things he can't say.
Facts.
These meetings that happen, you a vet, I'm a vet. How many times you went to your E5 about an issue that was supposed to be brought up to top?
It never got there.
It wasn't brought up to top. It was supposed to be also brought up to the commander so it could make it to the sergeant major and the colonel's desk. Come on, man, stop playing. This situation is no one's following it. But if you know that man heart, that's why he was so emotional.
Hey,
the other two jobs, and I'm gonna land the plane.
Thank you.
The other two jobs that he turned down, he turned them down because he wanted to stay close to his child in Florida. So if we're gonna be mad, yes, be mad at the employees of the school, follow the money, fire who need to be fired, and we can get change. Don't get mad at him because he spoke louder than you would have. He has heart. He pumped battle juice, not Kool-Aid. It is what it is.
Hey, appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Shout out to my vets, all my vets out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. You already know what it is. If you Army, Hool. If you Navy and all that other stuff, whatever. But shout out to y'all. All right, Coach. Hey, Coach Hayes, coming to you. Hey, what's up, Coach Hayes? Talk to me.
What's up with you, man? How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Hey, I just want to jump in here, man. First of all, you got a great thing going, man. Everybody need to hit that button, man. Let's get this thing rocking. Second, man, I want to thank you also, man, for coming in, calling in the other day on the show, man. Appreciate it. Got great insight. So that's cool, man. Really appreciate it.
No, anytime, Coach Hayes, I appreciate that. We got to link up. We got to do a show together. Got to break down some football.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. You too near me not to hear me, man. I'm right here in Orlando. You in Daytona, man. I didn't know you was coming down. I definitely would have linked up with you, man. I haven't been on Bethune's campus in a while, but, you know, I've been listening, doing some editing stuff here, but I like to put on different shows and just get different points of views. But, I mean, I've been hearing problems like this. Like I said, I graduated high school in 95, bro, and I've been hearing these type of issues. I can't say this particular deal, but you've been hearing a lot of these things. At Bethune and in different places. And again, it's not a all HBCU thing. I want to be clear on that. It is not an all HBCU thing, but yeah, man, it's just so unfortunate. You know, we all talk about our HBCUs and we always going to talk trash, but it's like a brother, right? I can fight my brother, but can't nobody else. So we're going to talk that trash, but we still want to support them. And I definitely hate to see the school in this kind of situation, bro.
No, I agree. And shout out to you. If you don't know, Coach Hayes is a Hampton grad, you know what I'm saying, up there in the bouginess of Virginia. Because I'm from the
Shots fired.
Because, you know, I'm from Maryland, so we already know Hampton. That's that. I remember my math teacher, she was like, that's where the smart people go. That's where the bougie people go. She was a Hampton grad as well. But no, you know, listen, and that's why, you know, I really wanted to get the student experience, because if you get it from the alumni, listen, they're there and gone. You know what I'm saying? So all they really care about is the higher up situation and not the day-to-day life. That, because I mean, when you're 30 or 40 or 50, you're being disconnected from college life for so long, and it's changed as generations come in. Generationally, it's changed. You know what I'm saying? I talked to Mr. Campbell. He was like, you know, when I was in college, you know, walking wasn't a big deal. He said now kids don't want to walk. You know, they got Ubers and all this, so it's not the same. So you know, just to try to make the student day-to-day life better should be Bethune Cookman's focus. because the better the students feel about their college experience, the more they're going to rave about the college. They'll tell you what's bad. Yeah, you're going to have this, but man, I had a good time, man. Best 4 years of my life. So you got to invest in that so that they are your biggest they're your biggest fans. You know, they're your word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? So like you're a Hampton grad. So it's like if you didn't like Hampton, you'd be like, I mean, it was good. But you be repping Hampton, got it in the back, you know, you be like, hey man, shout out to Hampton. So that so when you go up and you show up the kids at football and you a coach, hey man, look at Hampton. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what resonates with you because you've enjoyed your experience. So and the culture. So you got to look at it both ways.
No, you're 100% right. And I tell people they all had the issues. You know, when I went there 95 to 2000, our student union looked like it did on Different World, like the Pit, right?
Yeah.
And I hadn't been to a Hampton homecoming in a long time because I was coaching ball. So, you know, we playing games on the weekend. It's hard to make it to homecoming. So just so happened we had a bye week the same week we had homecoming. Well, I jump on a flight. I get up there. I almost didn't recognize the place. They got a 3-story student union, got a bowling alley in the thing. Bro, we used to have to walk the Phoebus. For those that know the area, we used to have to walk the Phoebus to get the little joy juice, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a family-friendly show, but, you know, to go get the little juice. But it'd be 10, 15 of us, man, walking and talking, man, and having a good time. That was just part of the process. But, you know, as time goes on, things happen. You know, I understand. And here's what I told people on one of my shows. You're not in prison. You have options.
You do.
You could take your $31,000, go straight down I-10 to FAMU and probably play half the costs.
Yeah.
You understand? And here's the beauty of it. Like there's certain things that are deal breakers. Like I said on my show, yeah, we had a problem with the radiator. You know what I mean? The thing, man, it was super hot in there, but it wasn't a deal breaker. But if I would have woke up and a rat running across my face, or I'm constantly getting sick off the food, I gotta go. I take my money, I take my goods and go elsewhere, right? Because the student population is the customer. The university is the business, right?
Absolutely.
And, you know, I didn't get a chance to catch Coach Sims. I guess you say it was an article or something where he wrote, so I don't know what he said, but he's an employee, right, of that particular business. And we know in all aspects, right, you could tell upper management, look, man, the customers are saying this, and that. We may need to change it. They're not going to do it until the customers have an uproar.
Absolutely.
As soon as one customer go in there and complain, they'll change everything around just to satisfy that need. So when the students have to come up, not even the alumni base, they are past customers. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They're not going there anymore. They may funnel money here and there, but those customers, those current customers, they got to come up and raise their voice. And here's the best part about it: they can take their bat and ball and go home. They don't have to go to Bethune Cookman. I'm not encouraging anybody to leave, but if you're not going to make a change, then I need to make a change.
Absolutely, man. Coach Hayes, I appreciate it. Let's link up and do some football sometime soon. I got your number. I'm gonna hit you offline. All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, this is the show number. Do me a favor. Hit me up on Twitter because I was on the computer. Hit me up on Twitter and we'll exchange personal numbers.
Oh, too easy. I got you, Coach.
I appreciate you, man.
No problem. Anytime. Hey, shout out to Coach Hayes. If you don't know, then you don't know football. Coach Hayes breaks down all the Miami stuff. HBCU grad. He's everywhere in the Florida area. Make sure you check him out on his YouTube channel, Coach Hayes Football. Let me see. I'm gonna go to some JB and Mr. D. Stay with me. I'm gonna go to some callers I haven't been before. All right, so stay with me. 0265. Then I'm gonna go 5999. Then I'm gonna go 5883, 4620, and then JB, then Mr. D. All right, so stay with me. Hey, 0265. You live.
What's going on, Clap on the Law?
What's goody?
What's going on, man? I just want to say, like, I know you say you want to do a show on like how the COVID funds work, when they first come, we call them the HER funds or whatever.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna just give you a quick snip of it. Like when those schools, whether it's HBCU, PWI, small, medium, large, a percentage of that money was supposed to go back or to assist the students during the stress. So that's why a lot of schools, when they came out with those, we're gonna pay your debt, we'll pay your bill. That's what those funds came from. And so basically those funds went back into the school after the bill was paid or the debt was paid. So it's a lot to it. I just wanted to give you that snippet, but yeah, I would love to like go more in depth with you. But again, I just want to say this too, because like I said, I worked in the HBCU line, I worked in higher ed. Just recently, probably up until 6 months ago, so I transitioned to my own company and do my own thing with some other things too.
Okay.
What we really missing on our HBCU campuses, not all of them, but a good portion of them, we missing that strategic leadership. And I heard you tonight talk about how well Claflin was ran. One of the things I tell people all the time was, when I first got to Claflin in 2000, one of the things I remember about President Tiz that he always told Claflin, his vision of Claflin, Claflin vision to the students. He always, that's when they started doing all the major construction, doing the dorms. He showed us what the dorms was going to look like. He kept office hours. He walked the campus. Those things matter, man, on the HBCU campus. And then for us food, I'm like you. I stayed in high rise for a few years. These kids do not want to experience nasty food. They don't want to experience the AC unit leaking on their head or some type of rodent running in their dorm. But yeah, so we just got to keep pushing this thing, man. And last to say this, like we really got to give Ed Reed more credit than we've been giving him. He deserved a round of applause for having the courage to speak out. It wasn't a savior mentality. That guy went there to do work for those children and for the school and that community.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree because, a lot of people probably wanted to talk about it, but him shining a light on it, him voicing his opinion really will push this thing full-fledged because a lot of alums probably have been beating the door. A lot of, students probably wanted to say something, but the fear of, something happening to you or something being done to you at the institution is really what holds these people hostage at the end of the day. And EA, yes, I did go to the stadium. I've been to the stadium twice. I've actually went to the stadium, what's that, 2021, baby, or 2020? 2021? 2021 with the stadium, and then we went to the stadium today. Listen, it's out of the way. It really ain't nothing special. It's okay. It ain't nothing special. All right. $59.99 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Cheryl, and I just have a couple things that I would like to say.
Yes, ma'am.
First and foremost, $31,000 a year. And last I checked, they do receive federal funds like Pell Grants and everything like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I correct?
Yes,
with
ma'am.
That?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So with that being said, because the board won't fire itself, and for some reason people seem to be scared of them and they're intimidating students and everything else, those parents need to go ahead and contact the Office of Inspector General with the U.S. Department of Education, because anyone receiving $750,000 in federal awards are subject to audit. So that's one of the things that they need to do or get together and organize, because somebody needs to hear something, because like everyone else has said, where is the money going? The second thing I'd like to say is, I always thought with D1 schools, you have to maintain a certain level or certain status as far as the stadium, facilities, and money like that. Who is doing the audit of this stuff? Because it doesn't seem like they can afford to do too much of anything at Bethune Cookman. Or where's the mismanagement coming in? Or is that where the mismanagement coming in? Someone is just, I don't know. It just seems to be like it's a little, it's 3,000 students. 114 million if you do the $3,773. There's some money going somewhere. Where's the accountability as far as private schools? Is somebody to look into this?
You know what?
That's where the parents need to sound the alarm.
This is how I view it, right? And you might bear with me. So first of all, the MEAC was just happy that they had a team. Let's just be honest. But when they came over to the SWAC, how I view it is like this. I think FAMU co-signed for Bethune Cookman. They like, the SWAC is like, hey, FAMU, we want you. And they was like, hey, I know you want us, but we can't leave without my little brother. He good for it. That's kind of how and when I view it, that's because it's like they didn't really want Bethune, but when you try to get fam, Bethune got to come with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a mom saying, agreed, that's my little brother. You go follow your big brother. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the SWAC did his due diligence in really evaluating what Bethune really had.
I can see that. Because, you know, the running joke is, I know in the band world is how the band director always gives the merits. And next thing you know, you have a bill, you know, that you didn't know you had because they pulled some of your scholarships. Well, that seems to be a trend among not just band, but everything else. So I'm just wondering, where do the audits come in? Who do they complain to get somebody to go in there and look to see why is this money being, you know, put back on their bills? I know they're a private college, and I know there's certain things that they have that they can do that a state-supported school can't do, but they are accredited and they do receive federal money, so somebody's got to be able to say something.
We'll figure it out. But thank you so much, man, for calling. I appreciate you for holding on.
No. All right, thank you. Have a great one.
You too, ma'am. Listen, I don't care what nobody says. First of all, Dr. McNugget was just so happy to make this announcement. For one, he wasn't going to do his due diligence to be like, does Bethune really have all the facilities that we need for them to have to be competitive? Why? Because they were winning in the MEAC. So he's like, they winning in the MEAC, must be good enough to play in the SWAC, right? Because they were undefeated against the SWAC. So you have that. And then you got FAMU saying like, hey, man, listen, you know, mom said I can play, but I got to bring my brother with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to bring my brother. Can he be a sub? Can he come up? Can he tag along with me? And they like, does he come with you? They be like, yeah, all right, cool. He good. That's how I view it. I ain't gonna lie. This is how I see it. All right. 5883 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, man, what's up?
What's good? What's your name?
What's up, man? It's AD, man. Look, not much, man. Look, I'm born and raised in Atlanta. I marched at Morris Brown in 2011 drumline, 17 bass drum. Okay, y'all take a look at my school. Same thing we got to do, but they need to learn the lesson.
Hey, you sound like you're on speakerphone or something. You sound really, really far from the phone. Is there any way you can change it?
Oh, hold on. All right, I said they need to stop stealing money. It's a misappropriation of funds. The judge president, he knows too many people in the city. That's how I feel. I feel like he knows too much about the city, and he can make those funds go to wherever they need to be. I just feel like it's too much going on with the money situation, and actually not putting it back into the resources as needed as the facilities and giving to the students. Those students should not be actually going through that at all. It's just, me being around Morris Brown, misappropriation of funds is a big deal with federal money. Private or state, it doesn't matter. But I feel like they do need an audit, and the way the board has intimidated those kids and given NDAs and everything like that, that lets you know that they are taking money and they're scared that somebody's going to end up and say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. And, God bless Ed Reed for actually shining light on this whole situation. But it should have came a long time ago. I feel like they've been taking money for the last 30 years. If nothing changed around that facility to where those kids are not receiving a top-notch education experience as the athlete, then they need to learn their lesson and go ahead and get audited and shut it down, just like they did Morris Brown.
Hey,
it's the only way they'll learn. It's the only way. But to all those people on that board and the way they came and intimidated the football team, just make them hush up, and the way they tried to, rally around those kids, that's not going to work. Because Roland Martin coming with his cameras and his information, he's going to expose a lot. Those kids deserve better. And if that institution cannot learn from the first time they misappropriated funds, then they're going to learn this time, because the whole nation is watching Bethune Cookman. And I know exactly where you at, man. I was in my family go Daytona every single year. We stayed in the Ocean Walk Hotel, and you wouldn't even know that Bethune Cookman is down the street.
Hey, appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. Before I get up off of here, I want to give a shout out to a young man who I won't say his name because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess up his situation and whoever might be watching this stream or whatever. But I'm gonna put his Cash App up, and I'm gonna donate because he literally gave us a tour of the campus and everything that was going on. Babe, can you hold on? I got it. Hold on. I'm gonna put his Cash App up real quick. And anybody that is able to give, small, doesn't matter, anything helps. You know what I'm saying? He is a college student, so you know what I'm saying? Anything definitely can help when it comes to that. Right. This young man gave me a campus around, gave me a tour around campus. If you guys could, 5, 2, 3, 10, it doesn't matter. If you could just bless his Cash App for what he did for us, literally took us to building, literally walked me through, told me what was going on, what was here, what was there, and everything like that. So has a 3.8, all that. Excellent student. All right. So if you guys could bless him, we'll really appreciate that. 4620, caller coming to you. Hey, you live.
Well, Scott, this is Wade. How's it going?
What's up, Wade? Talk to me.
How's it going?
What's goody?
Question. You were talking about the tuition of the kids and $30-something thousand a year. And you know, numbers really provide a bigger impact. So we take this $30,000, they want the college experience. But when you look at it, I've been looking up stats of Bethune Cookman. I just Googled it and whatever. And they said that the average attendance for Bethune Cookman students, based on those stats I pulled up, said 6 years. If that's true, even let's stick with the 4, that's $120,000. Put that number on the table. Put that number on the table. Because when they graduate and they done went through all this mess for 4 years, they coming in the hole, $120,000. Here's another question. Is that money for in-state or out-of-state? Does Bethune Cookman have out-of-state tuition?
No, it's not.
Because you know out-of-state gonna be damn near double in-state.
It's just one price. One price.
Just one price. Okay, cool. But put that bigger number on it. These kids are going through this experience that we just need experience. They're not looking down the road. When you graduate, you'll be $120,000 in the hole. Do you want students to go through that? It's that marketing. Put that big number on that piece. That 30,000. Oh, okay, that's no big deal. Put 120 on that.
Woo!
The whole message will change then. And then you multiply that times how many students actually go to the school, how much they graduate. Put that number. Make the numbers bigger to make the impact bigger, to make the hardship worse, to make the change. That's all I got. Keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, appreciate the call, Wade. God almighty.
Yep, please.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I'm about to go ahead and make my donation as well to my guy. All right. What's the caller's point? The caller's point is this. I don't know if you're right now or later now, whatever. You could be anywhere on the stream. But the caller's point to me was that I just paid you $120,000 and I'm living with ants. I'm living with mold. I got no security. $120,000 and I ain't got no security. I could, for $31,000, I can have my own personal security. All the times me and my baby go to Jackson, we could have had our own personal security for $30,000. Well, we could have had Suge Knight out there giving the business. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Hey, JB, coming to you. What's up, JB?
Hey, Scotty, how you doing, man?
What's up, man?
Okay, a few things. Okay, first of all, let me say thank you for visiting our campus. Really appreciate it. I haven't been down there in like several years before I had moved to Houston and whatnot. So thank you for your presence there. Thank you for acting like a quote unquote assistant head football coach who's now working with the players and stuff like that. I really appreciate that time. I appreciate your overall tour of the school. A few things that some people are missing. Number one, I haven't heard
the name of our previous athletic director, who was there for 30 years. His name is Lynn Thompson. Since we're talking about mold and everything else going on, or something like that, players' locker room positions, some of that stuff was going on during his tenure too. So now the question becomes is, what did he know? And did he do anything about some of this stuff? So that's question number one. Question number two, I think I mentioned this previously, the fact that athletics is a gateway to our university. So when people say they don't take athletics seriously, they do that at their own peril because athletics helps with recruitment. Third point I want to make is, and this is something that a lot of HBCU fans and alumni, I'm not sure, figured out yet. Kids have options today. Just because, and so I graduated from Cookman in 2000. I was there from 95 to 2000. Just because stuff was there during my tenure, and for some of the people who are listening that are there who actually went to school before I did, doesn't mean that they're putting up the same stuff as kids are putting up with today. And I mentioned in the chat, and Scott, you put my comment earlier about treating us like children. By treating us like children, talking about the fact that it's like, you say, oh, well, hush, you don't know any better. We're doing this for your own good. That sort of twisted parental viewpoint that we have of our kids needs to stop. Because we could talk about the mismanagement of funds, that's enough said. We could talk about dilapidated facilities, enough said also. But just the overall approach to how they treat students and alumni that go to our schools. So if anyone who's involved with HBCU leadership on this call, do this at your own peril. Keep ignoring the concerns you want to. Keep trying to talk down. Keep trying to be big brother, big sister, big mama, big dad, what the hell we call ourselves today, before our kids are going to go elsewhere. And they're going to start saying, well, how come the kids left us? It's because of stuff like this. So, so just please keep doing what you do. And, let's do the right thing. That's all I got.
Hey, appreciate you so much, JB. Appreciate it, man. Let me tell you this. Listen, I don't like to say like what a school isn't worth, but Bethune Cookman is not worth $120,000. I want you guys to think about what you could do with $120,000, right? Like, if that's to be around some black people in mode with no food, nah, it ain't worth $120,000. That ain't worth $120,000. Like, nah. In debt to be a teacher or a nurse? Nah, we ain't doing that. Like, think of all the places that you could probably go for $120,000. Like, and this is no disrespect to Bethune Cookman, right? It's really not, because you can pay $120,000 and you could go to BYU or USC or, probably Yale. You know what I'm saying? You can probably go to Yale if you can get in. You know what I'm saying? You can go to a lot of white institutions. You can go to University of Florida. You know what I'm saying? $120,000? Nah, that ain't worth it. That ain't worth it. That ain't worth it. To be around the culture? Dog. Like everybody, listen, take $50,000, take your ass down to FAMU and have a ball. Have a ball. Have a good old time. Football team better. You know what I'm saying? Tallahassee, nice, calm, little, it ain't too bad. Right outside of Tally. You know what I'm saying? They got new dorms. They got go to FAM. Go. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to Daytona State. You know what I'm saying? $31,000, private or not, I'm not paying you $31,000 to be in a mold room. See, if you're not in a mold room, then okay, maybe. But come on, man. And I hate to say this. I really hate to say it. But it seems like a money grab, because Bethune Cookman is supposed to be for the less fortunate, like the people who, need the second chance and all that. But is your second chance worth how much? Really, the question is, how much is your life worth? That's really the question. Because you could really take your ass to community college for 2 years and then transfer or whatever. But if you feel your life in your college education for your second chance is worth $120,000, by all means, boo-boo, do you. To be a teacher, to be you. Do you, boo-boo. Mr. D, coming to you. What's up, Mr. D?
What's going on, Scotty? I just want to say, brother, I appreciate you coming down to Bethune Cookman University. And I'm glad my family member had a good time with you.
Yes, sir. You crazy.
So look, I just had 3 things. I'm tired of everybody calling in saying that people are stealing. There's a big difference between stealing and mismanagement. All these institutions are audited every year. So everybody needs to know that they're audited every year. Mismanagement is not stealing. Now, as to pertain to the $31,000, I agree with you. Is the value of the school experience worth the $31,000? I say not, because schools like Howard, Hampton, Howard is $47,000 a year. Hampton is close to $40,000 a year, but their experience on campus is way different than BCU, but Howard did have some dormitory problems. So that come around, had some dormitory problems. Now, dealing with that blue light, back in the 90s, 94, 95, the federal government gave out grants to all higher education institutions to apply for a grant to get the blue lights put in. So when I was working at Howard, that's when we got our blue lights. And I think it was like around 93. And if Bethune Cookman didn't do it at that time, they probably missed the application deadline, which is part of mismanagement. Then you didn't get access to the funds. But that's when it was done. And 2, dealing with the financial aid, well, the funds coming in from the federal government. Everyone has to understand that the CARES Act, various funds from the federal government do require a, how can I say this? All those funds are not always used for buildings. Most of the times, 90% of the time, those funds are used for the students. Very rarely the federal government is going to give you money to fix a school, because that's a maintenance issue. They're rarely going to give you money to buy a new building. You have to float a bond or use some of your endowment money to build you a new building. That's how schools get those buildings done. The federal government does not pay for fixing a building. They're just not going to do that. Everything is going to go towards student-based funding. So I just want to tell you that, and keep up the great work, okay?
Hey, thanks so much, Mr. D. I appreciate that. Listen, I'm not going to tell you what Howard is worth. I haven't been on Howard's campus probably since like 05, 06. I ain't even going to hold you. Okay, $52,000. $52,000. It is like the Harvard of black schools. So I mean, I kind of understand it. I gotta explain it. And when I tell you Howard's in the hood, Howard's in the hood. Okay, like Howard is in the hood. Last time, now I don't know if they gentrified it, but it is back in like 05, 06, right? So Howard, like, you step outside that gate of Howard, you know what I'm saying? You better be like 50 Cent back in 07. You know what I'm saying? You better be bulletproof down. You know what I'm saying? Many men wish death upon me. I'm trying to tell you. And let me say something to my boy Elvin. I don't listen, man. It's nothing wrong with being. Nothing wrong with being a teacher. Is being a teacher worth $120,000? What you teaching? Unless you teaching astrophysics. What if you teaching math? If you a secondary, come on, man. Like if you teach in elementary school for $120,000, dog, come on, bro. Like that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense to pay $120,000 to go make $50,000. Like, that don't make no sense at all. So what I was taught, let me tell you what I was taught by a business guy, right? A business guy said, and this dude was a millionaire, right? He sold insurance for State Farm, had a few companies or whatever, whatever. He was doing pretty well. He said he would only tell his kids to go to school if they want to be in a specific field, right? Like a lawyer, a dentist, a doctor, a teacher. Like, if you wanted to be something in those realms, he would tell his kids to go to college. He's like, but if you wanted to be something like outside of that, he didn't see the point of paying a lot of money for college. That's what he said. So, he went to college. You know what I'm saying? He said he thought it was a waste of money for what he wanted to do because he wanted to be in sales and he does a State Farm agent and all that type of stuff. But yeah, if you're engineering, IT, computer science, cybersecurity, like, I get it. But if you're trying to do art, like, if you dancing, I'm not paying $120,000 for dancing. You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense. Like, let me find the cheapest way to get my degree. And a lot of people look down on community colleges, but I mean, that saves you a lot of money for those first 2 years, especially if you don't even know your college material, in those first 2 years of going to school. So, but $120,000 to be a teacher, that don't even make sense to me. That don't make no type of sense to me. There's no way you can even make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because now $120,000 to be a doctor, okay. $120,000 to be like a civil engineer, you know what I'm saying? An astrophysicist, you know what I'm saying? A PA, a nurse practitioner, okay. To be a teacher? Nah, I'm sorry. That don't make no type of sense. All right, listen, guys, I appreciate everybody that called in. Listen, I appreciate everybody that donated to my guy that was our campus guide. All right, here's the cash app again. $12 gauge TJ. $12 gauge TJ. I won't say his name. If you cash app him, you'll see his name, but I won't say his name on here because I don't want it, like I said. But I appreciate him so much, man. Literally gave us a tour of the campus, showed us the building, showed us what was wrong, and went to a couple of dorm rooms and everything like that. I appreciate to every student that I was able to talk to that was willing to speak to us, recorded, non-recorded, and things like that. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every donation that we received from a Cash App. We actually went over $1,000. It was a blessing. I thank you so much for everything. There's more videos on our trip, so it just won't be me up here ranting and raving. It will be vlogs coming out of our experience at Bethune-Cookman. So be on the lookout for that as well. All right. I do believe me and Blue will be doing a national signing breakdown tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So be tuned in there for 8. I also will be doing schedule reviews. I know a lot of people are looking forward to my schedule review. So I'll definitely be doing schedule reviews in the upcoming week. I have some stuff coming up with my daughter soon. So I'll be out the loop for a little bit. I'll be down in Dallas, but definitely be on the lookout for my schedule reviews. They will be live, so I won't record them. I will be live. You know how I get down. All right. Listen, guys, I appreciate everything. I can't stress enough that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what name is on the building. It really matters what the students say about the school. Right? You might love your institution for the name, but at the end of the day, students make the institution, right? Students make the institution. And once again, before I go, you don't want your institution to feel like it's New Jack City, where in Bethune-Cookman's case, in my opinion, they are holding these students hostage off of fear, money, and credits. The fear to speak out against the atrocities that they're going against with the fear of retaliation, the debt that they're consuming by being at that institution, and the credits that don't transfer because of them being a Christian-based institution. All right. If you've made it this far to the video, I appreciate you. Most of you Bamas don't even get this far. If you're watching me live, you don't have to do this, but hashtag BCU better. All right. Hashtag BCU better if you've made it this far in the video on the replay. I really appreciate it. And you always know, listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm a holla. God bless.